We've all heard the term go woke, go broke. It's sort of the new trending hashtag we've seen pretty much everywhere. And it rings really true to what is happening right now to a lot of corporations and companies that have decided to push the whole woke agenda, this whole satanic, demonic, pedophilic agenda. Now, all you have to do is look around. It's on the news. I don't even have to, look it up anywhere else because it's actually coming out for everyone to see. But it's really interesting because these companies that are pushing this wokeism, this transgenderism, this whatever, you want to call it. I call it woke. Very, very left-wing extreme ideology that's been pushed upon children in schools, which has also been infiltrating pretty much every large corporate entity out there, such as Disney, ESPN, Netflix. We saw Budweiser. What else? There is another company that was just, there's been hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds. Target, just the other day, it was Target. So all of these big companies are losing billions and billions and billions of dollars because the people have spoken. Now, there is a very small percentage of people that think wokeism is great. They think there's nothing wrong with it. And to those people, good for you. I respect your beliefs. But when your beliefs become forced to be accepted as mainstream, to be pushed upon young, innocent children, to be used to manipulate the minds and confuse the minds of young, innocent children, well, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. And I don't think that it should be pushed as a mainstream ideology. It's okay to believe in something, but it's not okay to force it down the throats of people. We've seen this unfolding for the last many years, but it's really, really ramped up in the last 2 years. And I have to say, when I started to notice it coming out fast and furious, getting forced, pushed, everywhere you go, it's drag queen story time and drag queen this and, rainbow this and books in the library, and it just went on and on and on. And then it's like now they want to put it on young children's clothing, and they're putting it in advertising. They're virtue signaling everywhere. Because here's the thing. When you put something out in the consciousness and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it and use symbols, it creates what's called brainwashing. This is how advertising works. This is how it works when you want to get people to accept something as truth. You just keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. Eventually, you've heard it and seen it enough times that you start to become like, okay, whatever, right? It's a psychological game. It's a psyop. So they do this with many, many things, but I've really seen it really clear as day with this whole, transgender, gender fluidity, this whole woke left thing. And it's been everywhere. Now, even in the city that I live in, they have billboards that say, "We welcome everyone," and it's the rainbow flag. And I'll walk down the street and then there's a store that says, "We welcome everyone." Now, I'm sorry, but haven't you always welcomed everybody? Why do you need to put that to let people know that you welcome everybody? Weren't we already welcoming everybody? And what about if you're gonna use one small group or minority? How come I don't see other signs for other groups? You know, like, it's like they take one thing and they play it. They play it, they beat it like a dead fish, they force it down your throat, and you're just supposed to take it and accept it. Well, the nice thing is that a lot more people are starting to realize it's getting out of hand. Thank goodness. Thank goodness more parents are speaking up. Thank goodness many, many, many parents have pulled their kids out of public school. Thank goodness many people are no longer supporting these big companies that are pushing this agenda. Look at what happened to Budweiser. The next day, they got annihilated. Target. The parents spoke up. They just shared an article that said that Target lost something like $20 billion in one day. In one day. Now, that really shows that the people are not having it. And as much as they make it sound like it's a wonderful thing and everybody is loving it, that is not true. I guarantee you that about 80% of the population is against this transgender agenda. The 20% that love it, that's great. But why should we force something that is maybe 20% of the population? Maybe. I think it's far less, to be honest with you. I think the percentage of people that are really into this whole transgender wokeism, that are really serious about it, I think it's maybe like 3 or 4% of the population. I really do believe that. So we have a very small percentage of people, and yet they're forcing this agenda on the masses. Does it make any sense to you? I don't buy it for a minute that it's being accepted, because everybody that I talk to in my life, in my circle of friends, within my clients, nobody's on board with it. They all think it's absolutely ridiculous. So if 70 people that I've talked to all agree with what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot more people that don't agree with this than the media is letting on to believe. And here's the thing. We, the people, we have the power to change things that we do not like and that is harmful for humanity, harmful for the children. We have the power, and we choose where we spend our money. And by choosing to not spend money at these woke companies is what's going to collapse those companies and send a very strong message to them saying, hell no, we are not doing this. And that's what happened to Target. That's what's been happening to Disney. That's what's happening to, North Face. They made a commercial with it. I think there was a car company I saw that made a commercial with a rainbow truck. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you seriously kidding me? You have to go to that extreme to now advertise a truck and have it painted in a rainbow to show that you support this agenda? And I find it hilarious because what's really happening, in my opinion, is that these companies are really just outing themselves. The companies and the corporations that are part of this woke agenda have been bought, have been bribed, and they are outing themselves by pushing this agenda. And so, in a way, it's like, well, bring it on. Let's see who else is part of this whole BS agenda, because the more that these companies expose themselves, the more that we know which companies we have to stop supporting, right? That's how we control and change things. We think that we're small and that we can't make change in the world, but this is so far from the truth. The thing is that there are fewer of them than there are of us. And if more and more of us say, hell no, I am no longer supporting your company, I am no longer supporting your product, I will no longer shop at your business, that is how you change things, because you hit them in the financial arena. They will suffer financially. And many of these businesses, by the way, many of these big companies are going bankrupt. Many have gone bankrupt. There's been hundreds of corporations that have gone bankrupt. So if you think you're just one person that won't make a change, I promise you that every one person that does that says, I am no longer shopping there, it gets amplified. And then you share that with other people and it spreads. And all of a sudden you have millions of people, billions of people that are all doing the same thing. And this is how we change the world. We change it one thing at a time. So businesses are suffering because they are part of this woke bot agenda. So it's up to you. If you do not agree with something, all you have to do is do not give them your money. Do not give them your money. Your money is their power. They became powerful because we gave them the power by giving them our money. But we're the ones that are holding the money. So we are the ones that make the decisions as to where we spend our money. And it's the same thing for these businesses that are going cashless, which is unlawful and illegal. But again, that's another part of an agenda where they're trying to push, digital money and ID. It's been part of a plan for a very long time. And if you're not aware of this, then wakey. But if you go to a business that doesn't accept cash, I've done it many times. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you're not going to take my money, I'm no longer supporting your business. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go support another business that's going to accept my cash, because cash is legal tender and you cannot deny cash. But you see, many of these companies as well have all been bought, bribed, and are working with some greater plan that's trying to become controlling, trying to be the oligarch, trying to take away our freedoms. And we've been seeing it happening left, right, and center these last few years. It's been happening right in front of our eyes. Those who are unable to see it, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't force you to see it. You have to want to see it. And those of us who are understanding and awakening and seeing the truth of what's going on, those are the ones that are standing up and speaking up, like myself. I've been speaking up about this for quite a long time, and I will continue speaking up about it, because this is how we change the world. We need to speak up when something is wrong. We need to speak up when we see horrible things happening, when we see injustice, when we see things that are unlawful, when we see things that are harming humanity. It is our responsibility to speak up. We have to do this for our children, for our grandchildren, for the future generations. If we don't do this, well, they're not going to have a very good future, unfortunately. So speak up, stand up, make decisions that feel right to you. And if you see something you don't like, you choose. You choose. No, I will not shop at that store that's promoting transgenderism or drag queens. No, I will not support your business that's not accepting cash, which is legal tender. Every time a person does this, it affects their business, because more and more people are doing it. And so more and more businesses are losing money, are losing customers. And many businesses are hurting because of this. If they think their business is that important, then they will understand that what they're doing is wrong. And they will get rid of that BS agenda and do what's right. But the companies that are holding steadfast to these agendas, I don't think that they're very good companies to begin with. I don't think their intentions are good for humanity. And so if they're going to go bankrupt, then so be it. That's just the way it has to be. And the beautiful thing about all of these go woke and go broke companies that are going down is that it's going to open up a whole world for people to start their own businesses, soul aligned businesses, beautiful businesses that are actually for the better of humanity. And this is what's going to happen. So as we see the demise and the collapse of these organizations and corporations that have been doing nefarious things, as they disappear, we're going to start to see new businesses, new companies taking their place. And this is how we change the world. This is how we evolve. This is what devolution is all about. We have to devolve everything that is no longer working so that we can evolve into something that is better, individually, collectively, universally. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye for now.